Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to another video from Let's DevOps. I know it's been a few days since we released the last video. I was just caught up with some personal work and I was not really able to release videos, but then be assured, videos on DevOps content will start rolling again as usual. Right, in today's video, we are going to look into how do you build, tag an image, and then publish an image to a registry. In our case, we want to take the simple example of pushing it to DockerHub. And what is the CI tool we are going to use? We are going to use the favorite Bitbucket. So using Bitbucket pipelines, how do we build an image, tag, and then push it to a DockerHub registry is what we will be looking in today's video. Without wasting much time, let's get started. Right. I have a dedicated repository for this demo. I've named it as DevSecOps CI pipeline because basically I'm actually building a proper CI pipeline, which will be coming in the next days. It's not fully ready yet, but uh, this repository has a Docker file, which I'm going to build, create the image, tag it, and then publish it to DockerHub. Now, the Docker file is nothing, not complex. We have already seen it in many of our videos, a simple Nginx uh, uh, application. So there's nothing much to talk about the Docker file. Let's come back. Now, the important key point is this Bitbucket needs to connect to Docker Hub and then publish the image into that registry. Now, as you know, if you're new to Docker Hub, Docker Hub is basically an open source registry which you can use to play around with um, pushing, pulling images. Not just that, there are multiple open source official images that Docker Hub has, which you can leverage and then pull and then play into your system. So if you don't have an account, just create an account on Docker Hub, hub.docker.com, give it a username and then a password, and then you should be able to log in. So my username or the repository name is basically sk16. You see here, sk16 is my namespace name. Why this is important? Let's go a little more into the demonstration and then we'll understand why this is important. Now, I've already constructed the Bitbucket pipelines. If you're new to Bitbucket, please go and check out my playlist of Atlassian, where we have extensively talked about how you can get started with Bitbucket and Bitbucket pipelines. Right. Now, I have, as I said, already have this Bitbucket pipeline.yml in place. Let's walk through the couple of stages that deals with this Docker build and will help you in pushing, tagging and pushing the image to Docker Hub. So let's jump to the IDE. Uh, the first stage I have is the Docker build stage, and then followed by push to registry. In the Docker build stage, I'm actually building the Docker file. You know the commands, so it's the Docker build and then -- file, Docker file, and then the name of the image, the name with which I want to build the image. Now you see that this is a variable. So it basically then fetches the value from somewhere. I will also let you know from where it is fetching. So we build the image, then we save the image, we create a directory called artifacts, and then copy the saved image to that artifacts folder, and we drop it into this argument artifacts. I want you to fetch this location as the artifact location. Now, why do we need to do this? If you in the ideal world, let's say you have a machine and then you have Docker installed. So if let's say I open my Unix system, if I give Docker images, you can see all of my images that are available, built and ready. You don't really have to save them and store them as a tar file or a physical copy of the image, right? You can then directly tag and then push it to a registry. So if you are wondering why we need to save it as a physical tar file, is because in this demo, we are actually leveraging the cloud service of Docker, which is provided by Bitbucket. Again, for detailed information, please do check my previous videos, because Bitbucket Cloud is what we are using. And Bitbucket Cloud comes with few services that it offers out of the box. And one of the services is Docker. So you really don't have to have a physical machine and then install Docker. Rather, you can leverage the cloud service of Docker that Bitbucket provides. Now, in that case, the problem is that, yeah, you will build the image on this stage, but then in the next step, when you're trying to publish or push that image to a registry, the image is not there because it's short-lived, only for this step. And the moment you jump to the next step, whatever you have done for this step is gone, because we are leveraging this Docker service of Bitbucket. In the other case, where I have a virtual machine, like I showed you my terminal, and I'm having a Bitbucket runner installed on this machine and then leveraging the Docker that is installed on this machine, in that case, we don't have to do this, save it as a physical copy and then push it to an artifact repository and blah, blah, blah that we are doing for this demo. This is purely leveraging the Bitbucket cloud service. Right, I hope that is clear. And hence we save physical copy and then push it to this artifacts folder. And so in the next step, we are definitely going to load this image from this artifacts folder, because that is going to get passed on to the next stage as well. Yes, you see docker load hyphen input, and then I load the image that is sitting in this artifacts folder. And even before that, if I want to communicate with the Docker Hub or any other registry for that matter, I need to do a registry login. It could be Docker login, Podman login, Builda login, whatever. But I need to set up do a login to the registry where I want to pull and push images. In this case, it's Docker, so I'm going to do a Docker login minus username. Again, a variable of my username, and then the password. I'm actually echoing the password and using it as a standard input. All of these variables, where is it coming from? Let's jump back to Bitbucket. Again, I have talked in detail about the different ways of managing variables efficiently in CI/CD pipeline in one of my videos. I will mark it on top in this video right now. Please do go and check it out. But if you're wondering, on the repository section, below you will see repository settings. Go there, scroll down, you should see repository variables. If you go there, I have 3 variables that I have secured and then added to this repository variable section. Image name, Docker Hub username, Docker Hub password. Even if I try to see the value of it, I will not be able to see it because I've marked this secure checkbox. And since I've added it as repository variable, only this repository, which is DevSecOps CI pipeline, will be able to access these variables. Any other project, any other repository trying to use this variables will not work, because this is only the scope of these variables are only confined to this repository. Right? Perfect. Jumping back, let's finish this step. I do a login, I do a load of the image, and then I create a version. I just give it a random name called prod, version 0.1. And then the Bitbucket build number. I have to do a Docker tag because initially when we are building the image, we are building it as, I don't know what name I have given in this. I forgot. So maybe let's rename it. Let's give it a brand new name. Let's give it as DevSecOps CI. Save. I assume it should overwrite the old value and then take this new value. But okay, let's see. So I've given it a updated name. So basically, whatever image it is building on this stage, it will basically build DevSecOps CI image on this stage. And on the before push, you cannot directly use that image name to push it to a registry. You need to tag it, or basically you have to rename the image to a specific syntax to be able to push it to your registry. What's that syntax? Once you log in, you need to give the complete relative path. Relative path as in the complete namespace path followed by the image name colon version number. If I don't give the namespace, then it won't know where I have to sit within Docker Hub, so it will fail. So what we do is we do a Docker tag, and then you see I give my namespace. I can also use this, configure this as a variable and then bring it as a repository variable, but that's okay. So I give sk16, which is my namespace, slash image name colon version number. All good, tagged. Then I do a Docker push. Then this image should go and sit into Docker Hub. Let's do a live demo of this. Before that, let's quickly go refresh and see when was the last image that was pushed to my Docker Hub. 2 days back, nothing recently, which means as after this pipeline finishes, we should have something that's dropped in here right now today. I just did some dummy code change. If I remember, I added something or deleted something, I don't know. So there is some code change that I did. Since all of my pipelines are always configured as CI pipelines, which means the moment a code change is done and pushed to the CI tool, which is Bitbucket here, there should be a pipeline getting kickstarted. There you go. Instantaneously, there's a pipeline that's getting kickstarted. As I said, it's a CI pipeline, so it will do a lot of things before it reaches the actual stage. Uh, Ignore all of it for now because a detailed video of a proper CI pipeline will come once I have it ready. It's still not ready yet. So last two stages are what we are really interested in, the Docker build and push to registry. All right, so the Docker build is happening. Hopefully it goes through clean and then followed by push to registry, which is push to Docker Hub. The Docker build looks clean. It has passed without issues. And now on to the final step of this CI pipeline, pushing the image to Docker Hub. And looks like things have been deployed clean to Docker Hub. If I go to Docker Hub, hit a refresh, we should see our image DevSecOps CI published to Docker Hub less than a minute ago. Right. That's pretty much it I had for today's session. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. As I always say, please do like, share, and importantly, subscribe for more DevOps content. I will see you all in another video soon. Take care. Thanks all. Bye bye.